On Meridian News, flooded out as heavy rain brings more misery to the south. United in faith, the congregation who saw their church burn down get a helping hand. And out of the mouths of babes as school children confront speeding motorists. Good evening. People across the south have been clearing up today after storms once again wreaked havoc. Fire crews from Hampshire and West Sussex were kept busy overnight, responding to calls and delivering sandbags. One of the worst affected areas was Lyndhurst in the New Forest. Heavy rain led to roads and houses being flooded.
Heavy rainfall and a sudden flood. Residents in Lyndhurst in the New Forest were caught by surprise when local drains couldn't cope with the amount of water. At this house, water poured in, causing damage to the furniture. The family car was also affected. Today, house owner John Mackerel was clearing up and throwing ruined goods away.
The heavens opened, cloudburst, rain absolutely fell down. We weren't too concerned because obviously it was just a downpour of rain. But as time progressed, the rain didn't stop and this area around me sort of got worse and worse.
Nearby, one of the main roads that runs through Lyndhurst was also flooded. Residents believe the drains aren't cleared often enough.
Almost certainly they're blocked, and I believe the Water Authority have got a contract to clean them out once a year, which doesn't seem very often, and I don't think they've done it for a while.
Now local people are hoping it won't happen again. Michael Vesti for Meridian News.
The congregation of a Catholic church which was destroyed by lightning have taken refuge in the nearby Anglican church. The two parishes are sharing the building after violent storms wrecked St Michael and All Angels in Havant. The offer of help is part of a huge campaign of support.
This was the scene just a few days ago at St Michael and All Angels in Havant. Struck by lightning during morning mass, the roof caught fire and quickly spread, wrecking the building. But a nearby Anglican church has stepped in to offer use of their facilities, and today's service carried on as normal.
Clearly, we are extraordinarily fortunate in having a church to come to.
It shows that despite all the obstacles in the way of absolute unity between our two churches, it means that we are, at a spiritual level, getting there very fast indeed.
The fire on Wednesday was a tragedy for all concerned, and we wanted to do what we could to help, to offer anything practical support as well as our prayers and our love.
Many people have fond memories of the old church and have been deeply shocked at losing it.
We're devastated. We started, 30 odd years ago trying to build it, so we had to start again.
Well, I think we're all quite stunned when something like this happens in a community.
Well, I think it's quite traumatic, actually. It really is a serious loss. And we've always been a very close parish. And I'm sure that because of that, I'm sure that it will hold together.
Oh, it's devastating. It really is, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, it's devastating.
It could take many years to build a new church, but until then, the help and support throughout the community offers some comfort to the parishioners who've seen their place of worship reduced to wreckage and rubble. Melanie James in Havant for Meridian News.
A man has been killed and a woman seriously injured after a road accident in Portsmouth. They were crossing Portsdown Hill Road near to the Royal Armaments Museum this morning. The police are questioning a driver and are keen to hear from witnesses. The Haitian sailor who lost both his legs in an accident on board a ship in Poole Harbour has found out he won't receive any compensation. Philome Guerrier was injured when a mooring rope snapped. The company he worked for has been declared bankrupt and he won't receive a settlement. A campaign's been launched to stop the deportation of an African doctor who helps care for the severely disabled in a Sussex town. Dr. Gerard Santos was arrested and thrown in prison without warning. Friends and colleagues are furious and are demanding to be allowed to carry on his work in Britain.
Rochester Prison in Kent. Inside, a man who's broken no law. A man who spent 3 years working to improve the lives of the severely disabled at this special residential unit in Littlehampton. Dr. Gerard Santos fled persecution in the West African state of Benin in 1993. His application for British citizenship was turned down in 1998. He had heard nothing since. Then, without warning, last week, he was arrested.
I think it stinks, really. There's many people in this country now that are illegal. They're being looked after by the social services or the government or whoever, and an innocent man like Gerard that can't do enough for the community. He's so law-abiding, he wouldn't do anything wrong.
Friends and former work colleagues of Dr. Santos, and there are many, are leading a campaign to stop the deportation of a highly respected man.
Kind, considerate, fantastic person to work for, puts others before himself, brilliant at his job, absolutely superb.
Dr. Santos had a work permit and reported without fail once a month as ordered to Worthing Police Station.
It's absolutely disgusting. I don't know what he's done wrong at all. He's done everything by the book as far as we all know. He's been treated like a criminal, and he's not.
Mr. Santos's supporters have now launched an appeal against his deportation.
I really feel that Gerard shouldn't be sent home. They need to send the ones home that are here illegally. And the government needs to really think about what they're doing and look at the cases and listen to the people that are appealing for him.
The Home Office says it can't comment on individual cases while they're being processed. Hugh Kirby in Littlehampton for Meridian News.
Speeding motorists in Wiltshire are being confronted by angry school children after driving too fast through their village. The drivers are offered the choice of either having penalty points put on their licence or having to face the youngsters. Police say the initiative in the village of Tills Head near Salisbury is the first of its kind in the country.
For speeding motorists, it was an unusual choice. A ticket, fine and penalty points on the licence, or being confronted by local schoolchildren, angry at those who drive too fast through their village.
If they really are driving too fast and a child could get hurt and maybe die.
That's what they're saying to you. Do you think you need to take more notice?
Yes. I can't argue with that. I am guilty. I can't argue because that is absolutely correct. It's brilliant to hear it from this age. It really is. Great.
Within a few hours, more than 50 drivers had been stopped.
A lot of the children who come to the school actually live in the village. Yeah. Some of them have to cross the road, and they're very concerned about the dangers and the speed that some of the cars come through the village. Yeah. And with your permission, I've got some questions I'd like to ask you.
The unique scheme was organised by the local school, people living in the village, and the local police as part of a driver education campaign.
We're here to try and catch people who are speeding and ask them to slow down.
What do you think of that?
Oh, I think it's good. I think it's a very good idea. I'm quite happy to come and speak to children if it means me not getting 3 points on my licence.
This is part of an ongoing traffic strategy for the village. The first of is the education and the awareness. The second of is I'm going to invite my colleagues back from the traffic department and myself to come back with the speed gun equipment and issuing the tickets on that occasion.
This initiative highlights a growing concern in villages right across the south that people driving too fast are putting lives at risk. Whilst this may not solve the problem entirely, it's hoped it will help. Mike Pearce on Salisbury Plain for Meridian News.
Now, a year ago, the first super nurse was appointed here in the south. The position is designed to bring extra prestige and responsibility. Many hospitals, such as St Richard's in Chichester, say it's been a great help to both staff and patients.
Lorraine Avery is a diabetes specialist with 20 years' experience of nursing behind her. She's also at the forefront of moves to revolutionise the face of the profession. She's one of the latest recruits in the south to earn the title of super nurse. She's a role model for other staff and the professional equal of her doctor colleagues.
Am I a super nurse? Well, I think there are lots of super nurses in the NHS. There are lots of nurses with significant clinical expertise and enjoy working at the coalface with patients. So I don't think it makes me necessarily super for wanting to do that job.
She's a very, very good person, very caring, and where you get worried with diabetes, she just makes it sound so natural and easy when she helps you with it.
One of the things that we have found is patients are anxious about whether they're going to get reported off on something.
Lorraine will continue to combine her challenging career with family life, as well as working to develop new ways of caring for and treating patients with diabetes. More nurse consultants are due to be appointed across the south in the coming months. Christine Alsford for Meridian News.
On to sports, and Isle of Wight yachtswoman Ellen MacArthur skippered Kingfisher to second place at the end of the opening leg of her latest adventure. Competing in the EDS Atlantic Challenge, a 5-leg, 8,000-mile race, MacArthur and crew were subdued as they finished the sprint from Saint-Malo in France to Hamburg in Germany. The winner, French boat Sill, crossed the line over an hour earlier. It had been an intensely close-fought leg due to fluky weather conditions, allowing little time for sleep and relaxation.
It's very easy in light airs to lose concentration or lose boat speed, and we really had to work hard on pushing the boat as best as we could to keep her moving, to keep her going through the water.
Southampton's Mike Golding on Ikova led at one stage but had to settle for third place. Organisers of the 9th Goodwood Festival of Speed believe this year's event has probably been the most successful ever. It's estimated the 3-day motorsport extravaganza has attracted over 100,000 visitors. And an added bonus has been the appearance of 5 Formula One teams ahead of next week's British Grand Prix. But nostalgia is the big draw, with crowds eager to see former F1 drivers like René Arnoux behind the wheel of vintage racing cars. Finally, a wildlife park on the Isle of Wight has taken delivery of 3 very special new residents. Red squirrels are extremely rare here in the south, so a trio have been imported as part of a breeding campaign.
Arriving at his new home in a somewhat undignified way. After escaping into the next-door pen, this red squirrel was captured and returned to his brother and sister, who had all just arrived from Norfolk. The endangered species have been brought south as part of a breeding programme. The island's one of the last areas of Britain that has a thriving wild population.
They're in decline on the mainland because grey squirrels were introduced in the 19th century, and they've just out-competed the reds and taken over all their woods, all their territory.
Although the island is home to numerous reds, they're very elusive. It's hoped by the captive breeding programme, visitors will get an idea of what this endangered species is like.
If people come to the island and don't see a red squirrel, they don't really learn anything about the red squirrels. The fantastic thing about bringing them here to Flamingo Park is the fact that people can actually have a look in the enclosure. They'll see the red squirrels, all the interpretation work that's going to go on around that as well. They're actually going to learn about the difficulties facing the species in mainland Great Britain.
Although too young at the moment, it's hoped that in time, keepers at Flamingo Park will hear the patter of little paws. Dave Russell in Seaview for Meridian News.
Unfortunately, not enough time for colourful moments this week, but Fred will return with more next Sunday. And that's all from the Weekend News team. We'll be back during GMTV from 6:40 tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.